Hello, folks! BJ is my name, and I'm here to say it's time for Barney Says! Hello again to all my friends. I'm glad you decided to watch this video today. But if you want a reminder of what happened last time, here's a recap for you to play. Or listen to. Sorry, the rhyming part of my introduction is honestly a difficult part for me. Last time, Christian talked about how back in 1999, they decided to make a video where you get to visit my house. Oh, I've always wanted you to see it because of the fact that it's so super duper cool. We did so many fun things there. I got to bake you cookies, we got to see so many of my friends, BJ got to create the Dino Dance with his band, BJ and the Rockets, we read a book called Looking for a Little Dog, you got to see some of my neighbors like the Big Bad Wolf, Jack and Jill, and Wee Willie Winky. And not only that, but we got to meet my new friend, Murray the Web Surfing Mouse. And let me tell you, this house was a big success. It led to many books, toys, live shows, and so much more to let people know that they could visit my house whenever they want, because my door is always open to anyone. Now, we're going to continue talking about my house by looking back at a special CD and a special bonus video. And now, let's get back to the video. Thank you, Barney, and hello again, everyone. As you may remember from part 1 of our video, we talked about what happened to Barney back in 1999, went over the events of the Come On Over to Barney's House home video, talked about how they went crazy promoting this home video, and even took a look at the only 2 books to ever take place at Barney's house. Now that we've got all of that out of the way, we're going to continue talking about the other appearances Barney's house has had in the Barney franchise. But in order to get to our next topic, we'll have to go back to the Come On Over to Barney's House video so we can take a look at their DVD menu. If you're wondering why, it'll all make sense in a few minutes.
Oh, hello out there to all my friends. I'm glad you came to play. We're going to have a lot of fun at my new house today.
The DVD menu is pretty standard for a normal Barney DVD, although 2 of the sections here, specifically the interactive area and the song sampler, were later removed in the DVD re-release of this video, probably because around this time using DVDs for computers and CD-ROMs wasn't like a popular thing anymore, so that's why they got rid of it. And, well, the song sampler for the album is kind of outdated since by that time the album was already out, so why use it? But either way, we're going to focus on like the original version to talk about this. And these are pretty much the special things you get to do on a Barney DVD. Like, you get to play the main video, obviously, but sometimes there can be a bonus video if they want to add a bonus video, but we'll get to that later. And then there's a sing-along area where you can sing along with the songs from, like, the DVD.
Hey guys, I'm on my way to the music room. Want to come along? Great, let's go!
And then for the early 2000s, there was an interactive area.
This looks like fun!
Where if you play this DVD on a computer, you can actually get access to a special computer website-like thing that has the same theme as the DVD it's featuring. And for, like, the DVD specifically, it's specifically themed to Barney's house. And in the website area, there's a lot of stuff to do. Like, you can play a sorting game with Babe Bop to sort the fruit on the every fruit tree. You can do a puzzle where the puzzles are basically the neighbors that come to visit Barney at his store in the original DVD, including 3 characters who never appeared in the video with just the 3 little pigs. Although that means we have to create images of what these characters might look like instead of keeping their faces hidden, which I'm pretty sure was not intended by Steven when he originally wrote this video, but unfortunately can't help but feel like the interactive area was out of his control. But anyway, you can paint a picture if you want to. And then there's a game where basically you try to put BJ's pickles in a jar, and then a matching game with Barney's PB&J machine to sort throughout different jars of peanut butter and jelly, along with sorting out different crust shapes for the sandwiches themselves. And then there's an area where you basically try the memory game to see which images match with which character. And then the last thing you can do is pretty much a connect the dots area, where you connect the dots to objects that can be seen in the actual video. And then there's a special features option with Baby Bop.
Oh, hi there. Here at Barney's house, every room is special. Let's go see. Come on.
And for the special features, you get to choose if the DVD will have subtitles or not, or change its language, and then there's a chapter select so you can start from a random point in the video, and then a behind the scenes area where you get to see behind the scenes information about the characters and the people who made it, and then previews for other Barney videos, and an area for Lyric Studios when you get to see their other work like the Wiggles. And as I said earlier, DVDs technically come with one free Barney book because they add a digital version of that book to the DVD menu so you can read it.
Do you like to read? I have lots of books right here. Let's read together.
And as I said earlier, for the read-along thing, you can choose to either read by yourself, which causes you to actually go through the book with these book things to choose which page to go to, or you can read with Barney, which plays audio from the audiobook version of the book. And one thing I'm not sure if you've noticed, but apparently around like the late 90s, early 2000s, when Barney started making DVDs, they kept Bob West intact with these DVDs, even if Bob West himself has never recorded any new dialogue for the DVDs after his retirement, because first of all, during the interactive website, even though they got Tim Dever to say new lines as Barney,
Welcome to my house!
technically speaking, on many of those different Barney websites, they only brought Tim Dever in to record new lines if necessary, for like if they want to say anything that relates to the home video or DVD, like if they're at the circus or at Barney's house. Meanwhile, if they don't need that for any of the games, like if you're painting a picture or doing a puzzle, then they'll save the Bob West lines that Bob recorded for stuff like that for those games, so Tim won't have to record any new lines.
Let's paint a picture. Click on a color and paint the picture. It's the memory game. Click on a card and find one that looks just like it. It's the matching game.
Although, to be honest, that kind of goes for Julie Johnson and Patty Wirtz for whenever they play Baby Bop and BJ as well.
Look, the every fruit tree has lots of fruit on it. Please put the right fruit in each basket.
That's Murray the Mouse. He's a cool dude. It's Barney's PB&J machine.
In fact, Bob is still present here because even though he didn't record anything new for the read-along, this is the last audiobook he ever voiced Barney for, which is Barney's Count to 10, so his voice can still be heard if you choose to read with Barney.
Baby Bop laughs and jumps for joy. We're off to see where they make toys. BJ's as happy as he can be. He wants to count the toys we see. So let's get started right away. Today's a perfect counting day. Waving goodbye, the day is done. Counting toys was lots of fun.
Pretty crazy, huh? But anyway, I'll mention the read-along later because it's not really important for this, but it's something that I want to save for later when we talk about a Barney character. But anyway, basically now we get to move on to the next two things that have to do with Barney's house for this video. And the first one we're going to review is the Barney Rock Song Sampler. Because, you see, back in like 2000, the same year that Barney Come On Over to Barney's House came out, basically, they decided to make a promotional CD to promote the video while also promoting other videos that were either not out yet or were already out because it would share some of the same music. And basically, this also follows the theme of BJ having his own rock and roll band called BJ and the Rockets. And since it does feature songs from Come On Over to Barney's House, this technically counts, especially because it does showcase some of the music that Joseph Phillips did from 1999 until 2001, especially since the CD was said to be in recording from November of 1999 all the way until May of 2000, so basically it does showcase Joseph's musical talents. So, what are a way to segue into the CD by going through the segue of the song sampler? So with that out of the way, it's CD reviewing time!
Are you ready to rock and roll? Cool! Let's do it!
Now, just to get this out of the way before we move on to the actual CD, the Barney Rock sampler basically has 4 songs from the album. Rock and Roll Star, which is where the song would make its public debut, even though it was already filmed for like a VHS that wouldn't release until 2002, called You Can Be Anything. And then there's the song I Put a Smile On, and then the song By Myself, and last but not least the song I Just Can't Wait. There's actually a rumor going around that By Myself and I Just Can't Wait were actually recorded with Bob West, but he was later dubbed over by Duncan Brannan to match with the current voice acting for the actual CD. And I'm not sure if I totally believe it or not, because sometimes the Barney voice in those songs switch between sounding like Bob West to sounding like Duncan Brannan, so it's like I can't tell. But I definitely know Bob was heard and I Put a Smile On, because the music they use in the CD is basically the same music from Barney's musical Castle, but basically, since this song sampler was probably made before the CD was completed, it's more of a demo, so the audio is taken directly from Barney's musical Castle, so that is absolutely Bob West on that song. I totally believe that, especially since I recognize that performance from the VHS anywhere. But with that out of the way, let's finally move on to the CD. The CD, which was actually released the same day as the Come On Over to Barney's House video, is basically 50 minutes long with over like 31 songs from the franchise. One of them is actually even a reprise of a song that's heard at the beginning of the album. Now, the first song on this album is called That's How You Make Rock and Roll, which is a song that debuts in this album and is originally made for this album. And honestly, it's a really, really great song. The only downside is that for some reason Barney rocks is its only appearance, and it's not used anywhere else unless it's like related to Barney Rocks. I don't know why, seeing how we have another rock and roll song for Barney, but that's unfortunately the way it is.
You got to strum your guitar.
That's right. You got to plunk your bass. Oh.
You got to tinkle the keys and thump on your drum.
And start moving all over the place. Yeah! Once you find your very own rhythm, add just a pinch of soul.
Shake it all up, give it a twist. That's how you make rock and roll.
That's right!
Shake it all up, give it a twist. That's how you make rock and roll.
Also, this album and a lot of other things make me realize something. Basically, I don't know if they were planning on replacing Jill and Jeff after the events of Come On Over to Barney's House, or if they were planning to have them in Season 7, because, well, we have, like, no confirmation, so it gets a little confusing, but basically, I think if they were planning on keeping BJ and the Rockets, they were going to replace Jill and Jeff with Barney and Baby Bop, because for some reason, in a lot of media, when it involves BJ being in a band, and especially if it's BJ and the Rockets, for some reason, they always replace the characters who were in BJ's band, like Jill and Jeff, or those 2 unnamed kids from the Come On Over to Barney's House book, with Barney and Baby Bop, with Barney either playing the bass or the guitar, and Baby Bop playing the keyboard, while BJ still gets to be on drums. I mean, it's on the cover of the Come On Over to Barney's House book, which I was saving for this moment, which is why I kept cropping it out. There are probably some other instances where this happens, but I'm probably not able to find it. And not only that, but basically it's absolutely true for this song right here, for That's How You Make Rock and Roll, because when they decide to demonstrate the instruments, the dinosaurs are the only ones playing the instruments.
Drums!
Oh, take it, BJ!
Whoa!
Oh yeah! The bass, here I go!
You
I mean, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against that, seeing how I absolutely love the dinosaur characters for the Barney franchise, but it feels odd to introduce a band that's supposed to have 2 of the human kid characters in it, but yet every time you bring this band back, you keep on replacing those kids with 2 of your dinosaur characters. And honestly, I don't think any other band encounter counts, like, in future Barney stuff, because they either go by a different name or the same characters aren't on the same instruments, like how they created a band once, but Barney was on the keyboard instead of Baby Bop, and Baby Bop just got tambourine. BJ was on the bass or guitar instead of Barney, and Riff wasn't even playing the drums for some of that. So it's hard to tell. But basically, since the dinosaurs are more permanent, and, well, I sometimes have trouble coming up with kid characters to fit in with the Barney characters, that's basically sort of why whenever I think of, like, Barney with BJ and the Rockets, Barney and Baby Bop are sort of in that band because of my love of the dinosaurs, but I still can't help but feel confused on why they kept on doing that, even though they tried to make Jill and Jeff part of the band. So anyway, after they're done singing that song, basically they sing Rock and Roll Star, which is sung by BJ, which, as I said earlier, the song debuts in this album, even though it was originally intended to debut in a Barney home video that was filmed in 1999, but wouldn't be released until 2002, called You Can Be Anything, where the song was sung by Steven.
I'm gonna sing a little song and play my guitar, 'cause when I grow up, I wanna be a rock and roll star. A rock and roll star. A rock and roll star. He's gonna be a rock and roll star. I'm gonna sing a little song and play my guitar, 'cause when I grow up, I wanna be a rock and roll star.
But anyway, basically, this song is usually sung by BJ the most, to the point where they consider it a BJ song. And honestly, I can see that, seeing how BJ does stream a lot of stuff, like how he wants to be a rock and roll star and everything. And that's basically one of the primary examples. But anyway, what's interesting is that in the demo version of the song that was heard in the song sampler, it's only the kids and Barney who were singing the song with BJ, as heard in the You Can Be Anything version when Steven sung the song, but yet they had Baby Bop in the official album. And not only that, but this song also contains a hint that basically Barney and Baby Bop are supposed to be the replacements for Jill and Jeff for BJ and the Rockets, because as shown in Come On Over to Barney's House, BJ calls his band members the Rockets since he's BJ, and when he tells everybody to give up for the Rockets in this song, basically Baby Bop is the one saying thank you.
Let's hear it for the Rockets! Thank you! Thank you, everybody! Woo!
You usually don't do that unless you're part of that group, so that could be a sign about replacing Jill and Jeff with Barney and Baby Bop, just like I mentioned earlier with That's How You Make Rock and Roll. But anyway, after that song is done, that's when they sing Blue Jay Blues, which, as we all know, debuted in Come On Over to Barney's House. And this version actually sounds exactly the same as, like, the version heard in Come On Over to Barney's House, only they decided to add Barney and Baby Bop to the song, so they ultimately sang along with BJ and the Rockets as well.
We just like to watch him play. When that bird gets going, you know he can play all day. Blue Jay, that plays the blues. He's not an ordinary bird, the coolest bird you've ever heard of. Blue Jay, that plays the blues. All right.
But anyway, after they're done with that song, they take a break from rock and roll so they can sing some of the classic Barney songs. The first one being It's a Fun, Fun, Sunny Day, which originally debuted in A Different Kind of Mystery. And this song is ultimately a classic because I am absolutely familiar with this one.
We're gonna have fun. It's a beautiful sunny day. Let's jump and sing. We can do anything. It's a fun, fun, sunny day. Oh, yeah.
But after they're done with that song, they move on to the song Walk Around the Block, which actually debuted in a home video that had the same name as the song. Pretty coincidental, huh? But either way, it's a very fun song.
Let's walk around the block to see who we meet up and down our street. Let's walk around the block. Let's take a walk with happy feet. It'll be such fun for everyone. So let's walk
And then after that song, they sing Imagine a Place, which is led by Barney, but for some reason, I don't really like this version of Imagine a Place that's as much as, well, the version heard and Come On Over to Barney's House and a different Barney home video, even though it's sort of supposed to be the same music style as Come On Over to Barney's House. But honestly, for this version of the song, I feel like Joseph Phillips stays too much on the whole calm thing and tries to kick up the energy way too late when the song's almost over, so that's pretty much why I'm not a fan of it. But anyway, after they're done with that song, they sing the song I Just Can't Wait, which was originally sung by BJ, which debuted in the Barney home video, Barney's 1, 2, 3, 4 Seasons.
I just can't wait, it's just not fair. I'm standing here, but I wanna be there. I just can't wait for what tomorrow brings. I just can't wait for anything.
And then after that, they sing the song Anything Can Happen, which sounds exactly the same as it's heard in Come On Over to Barney's House, only for some reason they cut out these lyrics.
This house is filled with fun. There's something here for everyone. Games to play, rooms to explore, and adventure behind each door.
I don't know why, but they do, so skip. But anyway, the next song after that is the Barney song Colors All Around, which debuted in the Barney episode First Day of School.
We like colors, we like them a lot. We've got colors, colors we got. Red, blue, and yellow, purple, orange, green. Black, white, brown, every color in between. Colors all around the world, for every boy and girl.
After that song, they sing the song I'd Love to Sail, which debuted in the Barney episode Grandparents Are Grand, a 1999 version in Season 6, because there's already a Season 2 episode with the same name.
Ahoy there, mateys! Shiver me timbers! I'd love to sail on a sailing ship and sail away to sea. Sailing, sailing, the sailing life for me. Sailing, sailing, the sailing life for me.
So anyway, after that song, they sing the song By Myself, which debuted in the song Tick Tock Clocks.
I can do it, there's nothing to it. I can do it by myself. Had to ask for help when I was small, but now I'm bigger. I can do it all. I'm feeling proud, as you can tell, 'cause I can do it by myself.
And after that, we hear Barney's Rockin' Nursery Rhyme melody, which is pretty much the same melody as heard in Barney's Musical Castle, which includes the songs Mary Had a Little Lamb, Hickory Dickory Dock, Patty Cake, Jack and Jill, and This Little Piggy. All the exact same songs from the melody from the live show, only some of the songs are rearranged and, well, kind of extended so it can fit with an album and so they can play the full versions of those songs. So after that, they sing the song Pretty Kitty Blues, which debuted in the Season 1 episode, Oh What a Day. This time the song is sung by Baby Bop, who's disappointed that her kitty left her.
You know, I'm feeling kinda sad. My pretty kitty left me. I don't know what to do. She walked right out the door, and now I'm telling you, I'm feeling really sad. Oh, so bad, kinda mad, feeling blue.
Feeling sad, oh so bad, kinda mad, feeling blue.
I'm feeling really sad. Oh, so bad, kinda mad, feeling blue.
Feeling sad, oh so bad, kinda mad, feeling blue.
Usually this song works whenever someone actually owns a cat, like Tina did in the debut episode, and Carlos in the Season 3 episode, and the lady who had the missing cat in the Season 8 episode. So it's like, were they planning on giving Baby Bob a pet cat in the later seasons? I don't know, honestly. I'm honestly a little confused by this. I mean, the only time it ever worked where someone didn't own a cat is when Barney sang it, because basically he sang it with Carlos, the guy who was actually sad about the time he lost his cat. And not only that, but basically Barney said he understood how that would make Carlos feel, so basically that's what led to them singing the song. Not to mention Barney can definitely play the blues. I know! Surprising, right? The world's happiest dinosaur can actually play a blues number. Crazy. But anyway, after they're done with that song, Barney says they'll help Baby Bop find her kitty, which might bring a smile to her face. So that leads them to sing the song "I Put a Smile On," a song that debuted in an episode that ironically shares the same name as the song "Colors All Around." Crazy, right? Anyway, as again I originally mentioned earlier, the music and vocals of BJ and Baby Bop were taken from Barney's musical Castle, while Duncan Brannan is pretty much singing this song for the very first time. I give Duncan credit, he does a good job, but honestly, Bob absolutely nailed it when they first did it for Barney's musical Castle, so I gotta give that award to Bob. I'm sorry, Duncan, you are an amazing Barney voice, but Bob clearly did it better.
Early in the morning when I get dressed, because I always want to look my best. The first thing I do, so everyone will see, is put a great big smile on me. I put a smile on my face. I put a smile on, I wear it every place. I put a smile on, and soon I see the whole world smiling back at me. The whole world smiling back at me. Yeah.
After they're done singing "I Put a Smile On," that's when we get the only album appearance of Murray the Web Server Mouse, as they sing the extended version of his theme song, "Surfing on the World Wide Web."
There's learning in store, adventures and more, no matter which way you head. 'Cause we're surfing on the World Wide Web.
Surfing the web.
Surfing on the World Wide Web.
He's surfing,
Oh, yeah.
you know he's surfing.
Surfing away, and we never ever even get wet. No!
But after they're done with that song, they sing "Squishy Squashy Washy," which is a song that debuted in the episode called "A Picture of Help."
Squishy, squishy, squashy. Give your hands a washy. Squishy, squishy, squashy. Give your hands a washy. You can't wear out your skin, so squishy, squashy, wash your hands all clean. Scrub it up done, let's get those hands clean.
Then they sing "Have a Snack," which debuted in the episode "Who's Who on the Choo Choo."
Have a snack, eat an apple or an orange. Have a snack, munch a cherry or a grape. Have a snack, have some celery or carrots. Have a snack, yeah! Broccoli is great when you want something crunchy, when you want something sweet. Fruits and vegetables are always fun to eat.
And then they sing the song "Snacking on Healthy Food," which debuted in the episode "Eat, Drink, and Be Healthy."
Alright! Snacking on healthy food is what we like to do.
Oh, yeah.
Eating apples, oranges, carrots, and some celery too. Nuts and cheese, and some of these, and a glass of fruit juice too.
Oh, yeah.
And then they sing the song "Pumpernickel Bread," where I'm pretty sure the audio's taken directly from "Come On Over to Barney's House." And then after that, they sing a "Sour Pickle Face," where they let Baby Bop join in. And in the end, she eats a really sour pickle, which gives her a sour expression we never see, but BJ finds it very hilarious. But after that song's done, basically we move on to the song "Icky, Squishy, Gooey, Ooey," which debuted in the episode "Good, Clean Fun."
Spaghetti and pudding, me oh my, just the right stuff for a goopy pie. Mud puddles still are number one for having some icky, squishy, gooey fun.
After that, we actually get a surprise and appearance of a song I don't think anyone would expect to appear here, which is the song "Count the Stars," sung by Barney.
For every star that I can see, there's someone counting just like me. Underneath the moon so bright, counting stars with me tonight.
What's surprising about this song, actually, is that it was a song originally made for the original motion picture soundtrack for Barney's Great Adventure, the movie. The very first and currently only theatrical Barney movie out there. And it's usually rare for songs from that movie to actually be sung by the dinosaurs, let alone sung in something that's outside of the actual movie. So this is a surprising appearance of that song. But after we're done with that song, we move on to the song Mr. Star that debuted in Barney in Outer Space.
Mr. Star up in the sky, you seem so far away. I'm so glad to see you now. Where have you been all day?
Mr. Star way up high, so beautiful at night.
Oh yeah.
Light up the sky, you shine so bright.
I'll make a wish as I gaze at you tonight.
What a sight you are, Mr. Star.
Hi, Mr. Star.
But then after that song is done, we get the appearance of Baby Bop and some unknown girl that we don't know, who I assume is part of Joseph Phillips' Kid Chorus, who basically sing a brand new song called Trying on Dreams. This song would debut in this album, but then it would later make its more famous first appearance in the Barney home video, Barney Let's Make Music, before the song would be used one last time in a season 10 episode.
Am I smart enough to be a teacher?
Elegant enough for a queen.
I might be a judge or an astronaut.
I might star on Broadway and sing.
Whatever else you do, one thing's for sure, you'll always be my best friend. You're the one I can share my dreams with, whether they're real or just pretend.
After that song is done, BJ and Baby Bop sing the song I'm Glad I Have a Brother.
My big brother, he's number one.
When we're together, we have lots of fun.
Sometimes he makes me mad, but I'm glad he's my brother.
My brother, my brother.
I'm glad I have a brother.
The song debuted in the episode If the Shoe Fits, and was originally sung by Carlos and his little brother Juan. And basically, there's actually a very nice story behind this. You see, one of the writers of the song, Stephen Bates Ballots, who started writing Barney music during the Backyard Gang before he left, and then came back one last time for season 3, basically actually wanted to write this song for his brother Ben, and actually sang it to him after he was done writing it, which is honestly very sweet. And I bet Steve even is glad to note that this song did live on after its initial appearance in season 3, because whenever they wanted that song to be sung, it would be sung by BJ and Baby Bop, especially because of the fact that they joined in on the original version of the song when it first made its debut, because of the lyrics about Baby Bop saying her brother is a dinosaur.
My big brother's a dinosaur, and when we play, I like to hear him roar.
So anyway, after they're done with that song, Baby Bop sings the song Look at Me, I'm Dancing, which debuted in the episode Good Job.
Look at me, I'm dancing. I can feel the dancing beat. Dancing shoes upon my feet. Look at me, I'm dancing.
And after she's done with that song, basically Barney gets the kids to sing the song The Gaggle Giggle Wiggle Dance, which debuted in the episode Once Upon a Time. Get it? Because they're at a pond, and it's a joke on the word once upon a time.
A gaggle of giggling, wiggling geese came galloping through the grass, on their way to the farmer's house to teach a ballet class. And there before their very eyes stood every animal: cows, pigs, sheep, chicks, and even Mr. Bull to do the gaggling, giggling, wiggle. Come on, here's your chance. Everyone can do the gaggle, giggle, wiggle dance.
So after they're done with that song, they sing the song The Dino Dance, where I'm pretty sure even though the speaking dialogue has been re-recorded, the singing's taken directly from Come On Over to Barney's House and the Alton Towers show. I have a strong feeling that's the case, so Yeah, but anyway, after they're done with that song, that's when Barney sings the song Someone to Love You Forever, which is a song that debuted in a 1995 episode called A Welcome Home. In the episode, Min is giving away some puppies.
Where'd you get them anyway? My dog, Princess, had 6 puppies. Where are the rest of them? I gave them to people who could give them good homes. I want to find a family for this one, too. Why don't you keep them in? I already have a dog, a parakeet, and a cat. I couldn't take care of any more pets.
So basically, Julie ends up adopting the puppy and naming her Scooter, who would actually appear 2 episodes later when they have an episode talking about pets. But basically, there's a moment in the episode where she believes the puppy's feeling scared and alone because they currently don't have a family. So she sings that she's someone that the puppy can love forever, which is before she makes the decision to adopt the puppy.
I know you're frightened and feel all alone, not sure if you really belong. But puppy, with me, you will always be home, and that's why I sing you this song. I'll be someone to love you forever.
The song here on the album is sung by Barney the Dinosaur, and honestly, I feel like it's a very fitting song for Barney to sing, because it sort of matches with what his character is when it comes to the love. Because basically he's a dinosaur who loves everybody unconditionally, even if sometimes those people don't love him back. I'm looking at you, Cody. I know you changed your mind about Barney at the end of the movie and apologized to him, but still, throughout the rest of the movie, before that scene, you were giving Barney a lot of hate. But anyway, basically, Barney's song kind of represents what sort of love he always tries to make sure his friends feel, no matter how they're feeling, who they are, basically what they did, or anything like that, because to Barney, everyone is special in their own way, and, well, basically, he believes that everyone deserves love. So if anything, this song really fits him, which is why I did a cover of it for Valentine's Day, because what other song to sing for Valentine's Day other than this or the I Love You song? And honestly, I can't help but feel like Someone to Love You Forever sort of has a little bit of a deeper meaning.
I'll stay with you when you're lonely and sad. Just look in my eyes and you'll see. It doesn't matter if you're good or bad, there's no one more special to me. I'll be someone to love you forever. That's right. Sharing tomorrow together. When you reach out to me, I will always be someone to love you forever.
So anyway, after Barney's done singing that song, basically we move on to the I Love You song, with the music audio taken directly from Come On Over to Barney's House. Although for some reason they don't have the dinosaurs sing it, they just have a bunch of kids sing it for some reason. That is honestly a weird choice in my opinion, and I don't get why they did that. But believe it or not, that's actually not the last song to close out the album. The actual last song to close the album is a reprise of the That's How You Make Rock and Roll song that was played at the beginning of the album for some reason. I have no idea why they did that, since it seems a little odd in my opinion, especially because of the fact that the I Love You song is supposed to be like the end song of all Barney albums because of how iconic it is. So it doesn't make sense that they did that, but either way, that's the song they used to close out the album, and that's pretty much the end of that. And that was the CD Barney Rocks. And honestly, it was a really great CD. The music sounded fantastic, and a lot of the songs were really, really great. And basically, this kind of captures the music of a Barney era we'll probably never hear again, especially because the music did change a bit around the time they started production on Season 7, since unfortunately the music around this era that we're talking about is sort of like the prototype era before they move on to the newer season, you know? But even though Barney Rocks basically only got to be like a one-time thing for many things, like showcasing this music that was really incredible. And not only that, but giving Duncan Brannan the entire role for a Barney album. Basically, there's one way this album actually still makes itself relevant in the early 2010s. For you see, there was this choreographer who's been part of the Barney franchise since like the early 90s, who was the late Penny Wilson, who was responsible for a bunch of the amazing choreography seen in Barney episodes, home videos, live shows, especially for when it came to musical numbers. And she did a terrific job at what she did with choreography, because she's responsible for some of the amazing choreography that we remember as Barney fans to this very day. Sadly, she left the franchise as their choreographer around 2003 after choreographing Barney's Colorful World Live. But even though she left the Barney franchise in America, technically she still stuck with it, because she actually went to Lineberger to be the choreographer for some of the Barney Live shows that performed there, especially the ones that were exclusively for Lineberger, like Barney's Musical Park and Barney's Space Adventures, before it would leave to tour Asia and the Middle East. Pretty amazing, huh? Well, anyway, she did this until 2008, and basically around 2010, and they decided to pay a special tribute to her by making a Barney Live show, and that live show happened to be based off of the Barney Rocks album we were talking about today, which sadly only toured in like Latin America, which is such a shame, because I want to see this live show in person. Why didn't it tour places like America and Canada? This thing looks amazing. Not to mention those rock and roll jackets on the dinosaurs look incredible. I mean, seriously. But since the show was a tribute to her, I bet it was really sweet, especially for when it came to the choreography, since, well, she was the choreographer for the Barney franchise for a while, you know? But anyway, basically, these rock and roll jackets of the dinosaurs would later be seen again when the same production company that made Barney Rocks and Concerto en Vivo decided that they would make a Spanish language version of the Little Big Club live in concert. For those of you who are probably way too familiar with the Little Big Club live in concert, saying you absolutely know what I'm talking about, because for some reason when Entertainment had the rights to all of these franchises, they were obsessed with this thing called the Little Big Club, which is like a giant club where all of the franchises are friends with each other, especially since they're pretty much the faces of Head Entertainment, to the point where they're also referred to as hit favorites. And basically, if there's one thing we know about Entertainment, for some reason they love creating clubs where purple dinosaurs, ballet dancing mice, construction workers, and talking trains can pretty much get together and be friends. It was a wild time. You had to be there. A wild time. But anyway, now that the Barney Rocks CD and the Barney Rocks song sampler is out of the way, we can finally talk about the last bonus feature on this DVD, which is the bonus video. For you see, Come On Over to Barney's House actually created an original video that was also a clip show made exclusively for Come On Over to Barney's House, but then a full year later in like 2001, basically it would actually get its own DVD and VHS release, so people wouldn't have to buy the Come On Over to Barney's House DVD in order to watch it. Pretty interesting, huh? So I wanted to use this DVD menu as a segue to that video because of the fact that basically it was originally featured as a bonus video for Come On Over to Barney's House before getting its own video release. And so with that out of the way, let's move on to the bonus video of Come On Over to Barney's House, which would eventually get its own release, Barney's Dino Dancing Tunes!
Do you like to dance? Cool! Let's get ready to rock and roll!
Barney's Dino Dancing Tunes was also directed by Jeff Jittle, just like Come On Over to Barney's House. He pretty much directed all of the videos Steven wrote in this video that we're going to talk about, except for one. What's interesting to note here is that BJ's costume actor in this home video is not Jeff Brooks. I mean, Jeff Brooks will be featured in the two final things we're going to be talking about, but specifically for this home video, he's not the costume performer of BJ. Well, at least not in the new footage, seeing how this is a clip show. Now, that doesn't mean Patty Wirtz doesn't voice him in this, especially because for some reason Julie Johnson and Patty Wirtz have a really good record of always making sure that their voices are always heard as BJ and Baby Bop during the original time Barney and Friends was still making new home videos and episodes before its cancellation. Which I'm honestly a bit impressed by, seeing how long they were able to stay on the roles of BJ and Baby Bop when it comes to being their voices, but also a little confused by it because they know what happens in most of the later episodes, right? But basically, switching costume performers for the dinosaurs is kind of a common thing for the Barney franchise, so don't be surprised for it to happen. But anyway, for this home video specifically, for some reason, BJ is actually played by his costume performer Kyle Nelson, who started performing the character ever since he joined the national tour of Barney's Big Surprise back in 1997, and basically, he actually reprised his role as BJ for Barney's musical Castle, and that eventually led to him actually gaining the role of playing BJ for the official TV series when Jeff Brooks unexpectedly left for currently no reason whatsoever. Like, seriously, there's no word on why Jeff left. They didn't say if he retired or basically if they fired him. He just simply left and there's currently no explanation why. So that ultimately led to Kyle getting the role for the TV series and ultimately not playing BJ for live appearances anymore, except for when it involves actually the costume actors actually playing the characters on live TV with the official voices, like for a special event or something. And honestly, Kyle does an amazing job at portraying BJ just as Jeff does when it comes to the costume performing. So honestly, I don't really mind seeing how well Kyle is able to play the role, but it is a little confusing when you think about it. And since there's currently no explanation as to why Kyle replaced Jeff for Dino Dancing Tunes, it is a little confusing, and it makes me wonder if this was like a test run for Kyle to get the role as BJ before they would start the new season, even though Jeff played BJ for the next 2 home videos. But what's important to note here is that even though BJ's costume performer changed, Barney and Baby Bop still have their costume performers, and what's actually important to note here is that Baby Bop's costume performer, Jeff Ayers, surprisingly stuck around as Baby Bop for all of the home videos that I'm going to be talking about today, and actually was able to still play Baby Bop once they started production on the 7th season, and actually didn't leave the role of Baby Bop until 2008, with his final episode being Season 12's Misbegotten Moon, where they go to the moon to meet the man in the moon when Baby Bop sings the moon is cut in half. Long story, but that's just something I wanted to clear up before we move on. But anyway, the episode opens with BJ having a difficult time choosing which book to read, especially because he's really bored.
Nope, I've read that one twice. I read that one 3 times. Oh man, there's just nothing to do today.
But that's when he notices Barney is doing something strange in the living room and asks him what's going on. And Barney actually explains he's trying to make room for someone that's being sent to his house. Now, before we move on, it's actually important to note here that even though the character doesn't appear in this home video, he is mentioned and is technically the main reason why this video exists in the first place when it comes to the plot, because the plot of this video was started by the Barney character, Professor Tinkerput, originally portrayed by Barry Pearl. But if you want to refer to him by his full name,
Professor Erasmus Q. Tinkerput.
Well, don't let me stop you. But anyway, you're probably wondering who Professor Tinkerput is, right? Well, I don't mean to annoy you, but we're going to briefly take a detour away from Dino Dance Party so I can actually explain to you who the character of Professor Tinkerput actually is, so you won't get confused. Professor Tinkerput actually debuted in the Barney NBC special Barney's Imagination Island. The long story for this episode made short is that Tasha is having a sleepover at her house with her friend Min, and they have the Barney doll with them and try to read the story Imagination Island, but that's when Barney comes to life and takes them to the pirate ship so they can actually visit Imagination Island with their friends Derek, Sean, BJ, and Baby Bop. But while they're sailing, that's when a giant wave hits them and gets their pirate ship stuck in the middle of 2 palm trees, rendering them stranded on the island, and when they try to find help, they find this man named Professor Tinkerput, who ultimately helps them out, and is able to sail their pirate ship with giant balloons all the way back home. How this is made possible, I'll get into that later, because we have to discuss Professor Tinkerput first. You see, Professor Tinkerput is an inventor and mostly toy maker who lives alone on this island in a giant, clubhouse thing that he made himself. And when Barney and the gang go to that house to get some help...
Hello, Hello. Hello. My word. Are you a dinosaur, sir?
That's right.
Excellent! Woo, what a relief! I thought I was seeing things. This island heat can do that, you know.
He invites them in, but doesn't want everybody touching his stuff, which is mostly toys.
There are toys everywhere.
Yes, remarkable, extraordinary, absolutely wonderful toys I built myself for myself. And if you did it, please don't touch. So, what do you think your names are?
Derek.
Delighted,
Min.
charmed,
Sean.
thrilled,
Tasha.
enchanted,
Bunny.
amazed.
But what is a professor doing here on Imagination Island?
Professor Tinkerbutt decides to explain to them his situation in the form of a song named Professor Tinkerbutt's Song, which honestly is a very good one. And basically this song pretty much explains the entire backstory that a child would need to know for a character like Professor Tinkerbutt.
My name's Professor Tinkerbutt. You may think it's funny, but I like it very much. I moved right here and planned to stay to build my toys. And by the way, these toys are mine, so please don't touch. As you can see, I've made a lot of toys. I just invent them for myself. I play with them and they make lots of noise. And then I set them back on the shelf.
Basically, Professor Tinkerbutt is this man who's a toy inventor who basically, for some reason, has a big problem with Sharon. Because even though he's a genius and is able to create a lot of fun and fascinating toys that I'm sure children would love, you know, all sorts of different types of toys children do love whenever they go to a toy store and whatnot, and is even able to create some fascinating toys that only children can dream of playing with. Basically, Professor Tinkerbutt has a big problem with Sharon for some reason, so basically he went to this island to live all by himself, so he's the only one who can play with his toys and invent even more.
But, Professor, don't you feel a little bit lonely living way out here?
Maybe. A little. Sometimes. But I don't have to share my marvelous toys with anyone. That's why I came to Imagination Island in my airplane. You see, I want to stay on this island. So, I took my airplane apart and used all the pieces to build more toys.
Now, if you're honestly wondering, who is this man? What is his deal? Oh, how is he a genius but doesn't like Sharon? Why does he have such a big problem with Sharon? Ultimately, those questions are never answered in the home video, probably because it's a preschool special made for young toddlers. So yeah, if you ever want to know the complicated, detailed backstory of Professor Tinkerbutt on why he has a problem with Sharon and why he was crazy enough to use his airplane to go to an island by himself and then dismantle his airplane to use the parts to make more toys so he can stay on the island, then yeah, I'm afraid you won't get answers here because this special is supposed to be very simple and made for kids. But anyway, after Professor Tinkerbutt's done with his song, Barney and the kids explain their situation to him, and he does offer his help to them, but basically he works at one problem at a time, so he can't help them right now because he has a problem of his own, which is that a new invention he's working on, being the brilliant balloon blower, is not really working properly because it's not making the balloons like it's supposed to.
Oh, what is it, Professor?
Why, this is the greatest toy I have ever invented. It's Tinkerbutt's brilliant balloon blower.
What does it do?
Oh, it doesn't do anything, I'm afraid. That's the problem.
Aww. What's it supposed to do?
Make balloons, wonderful, colorful balloons of all shapes and sizes, from giant size down to itty-bitty teeny size.
What are the itty-bitty teeny balloons for?
Ants having birthday parties.
Huh?
But ants don't have birthday parties.
That's because they don't have any balloons.
Ah.
And they never will if I can't figure this out.
But that's mostly because he's missing a piece in order to make the blower actually work. And Tasha notices that the area that he needs a piece for is sort of resembles the shape of her heart-shaped necklace that her parents gave her. So she's willing to share her necklace with Professor Tinkerput in order to make his brilliant balloon blower work. And granted, it actually does work and it's very successful. But Professor Tinkerput is actually confused by this, so he has a talk with Barney.
Barney, why did Tasha share with me when I wouldn't share my toys with any of you?
Because Tasha remembered something that you forgot. You've made lots and lots of wonderful toys for yourself, Professor. But when you share, you make someone else happy. And that's the most important thing anyone can make.
This gives me an idea. Yes. I want to try an experiment. I want to try to share.
So Professor Tinkerput tries out to see if he actually would like Sharon by sharing his toys with the kids there, and he ultimately does feel happy that he's sharing his wonderful creations with these children, and ends up loving Sharon.
You know, I think I like sharing a lot!
And even gives Barney a big toy, which is this big musical machine, which is called the Marvelous Musical Mechanism, which they used to sing If You're Happy and You Know It. And that leads to Professor Tinkerput ultimately wanting to create his own toy workshop, so he can give his toys to all the children of the world, which ultimately means leaving this island. And since Barney and the gang helped him with his balloon blower problem, he ultimately helps them with their ship stuck in a tree problem like he promised. Although he has to wear his thinking cap in order to come up with an idea on how to do it.
I think there is another way to sail your ship, and just wait till you see what it is!
The idea itself is to bring all of his toys onto the pirate ship so he can leave with them, and basically he uses his balloon blower to make a bunch of giant balloons to tie them to the pirate ship, and after cutting the anchor loose, basically they're able to sail in the sky in order to get back home. So that's when he gives Tasha her necklace back, and foreshadows the fact that he might appear in the Barney TV series.
Oh, Tasha, before I forget, there's something I have that is all yours.
It's my necklace. Don't you need it for your balloon machine?
Not anymore. You see, I can make another necklace, just like this one, at my new toy workshop.
You can?
Of course, because I'll always remember this necklace, and all your wonderful friends, and how you taught me to share.
And we'll always remember you, Professor Tinkerput.
Okay, but to be completely honest, before we move on, I just want to say, I am so disappointed we never got any more things like the NBC special Barney's Imagination Island. I mean, I heard Steven was trying to write a sequel to it, which involved his character Rainbow Beard the Pirate, but that ultimately never went anywhere, so we never got anything else like it again, and honestly, I'm disappointed to see that's the case, because honestly, Imagination Island was such a great Barney special. It had Barney and his friends going on a grand adventure that's pretty much on a bigger scale than their normal adventures in any of their home videos and episodes. And not only that, but they met a brand new character who had the possibility of becoming a reoccurring character who's pretty much a fun human or animal character with an exaggerated personality that's sure to be funny and very fun for a bunch of young viewers. And yet, we ultimately never got anything like this ever again, and that became a rare thing for the Barney franchise. So it's so sad to see stuff like this didn't happen more often in the Barney series, and the fact that basically this is pretty much the only one of its kind. But anyway, back to explaining who the Professor Tinkerput character. In fact, what's interesting to note here is that, according to Barry Pearl in an interview he was in with the Best Barney Fan, basically they originally wanted to bring Professor Tinkerput in a TV series and introduce a toy factory for him to work in, but basically they had a fear that Professor Tinkerput would overshadow the main character, Barney the dinosaur, so they ultimately scrapped that idea, and what was supposed to be his toy workshop ultimately became the treehouse setting for the school set. And honestly, I would have loved to see Professor Tinkerput in this TV series because he was such a fun character. Steven exactly knew how to write him, and Barry Pearl knew exactly how to portray the character, which is a fun man and who's a toy inventor with an exaggerated personality, which makes him comedy genius for a preschool show for toddlers about talking dinosaurs. So if anything, Professor Tinkerpud would have been an amazing character to bring onto the TV series. But as for the reason why they never did bring Barry Pearl into the TV show as Professor Tinkerpud, I would like to say, I'm sorry. I know Professor Tinkerpud's an amazing character, but overshadow the main character, Barney the dinosaur. Are you serious? I didn't even feel like Professor Tinkerpud overshadowed Barney in his first appearance in Imagination Island. So if anything, that is just a crazy reason as to why to get rid of a toy inventor, especially because I feel like there's no way you can overshadow the perfect main character for a children's TV series named Barney and Friends, because kids love dinosaurs. Barney is the perfect educational role model, not to mention he does have his own funny moments, so it's like, overshadow Barney. I'm sorry, but that is just insane. But even though they never brought Professor Tinkerpud into the TV series, they did find many ways to try to bring him back to the franchise as many times as they could. Like having him appear in many books, like Barney's Valentine's Day book, and basically ultimately adding him to CD-ROMs, such as Barney's Go to the Circus and Barney's Go to Underwater. Heck, even a CD-ROM where they go back to Imagination Island for some reason. And what's to be considered Professor Tinkerpud's actual last appearance in a Barney franchise was the fact that Barry Pearl was able to reprise his role as the character for Barney's first ever national stage show tour, Barney's Big Surprise, where they actually go to Professor Tinkerpud's toy factory to get some stuff for BJ's birthday party. In fact, Professor Tinkerpud even created an invention called the Spectacular Spontaneous Perfect Party Pastry Provider to create an absolutely gigantic cake for BJ's birthday. You know, BJ's one lucky dinosaur in the Barney franchise, because first his birthday party gets to be in the form of a live show stage tour before Barney, and now his birthday cake gets to be bigger than he is. He is one lucky dinosaur for when it came to celebrating his 7th birthday.
This birthday party was worth waiting 7 years for.
And ultimately, this live show did keep Professor Tinkerpud in the Barney franchise longer than you would expect, because after they were done using the character around like 1999, the live show still got to be toured in different countries, especially after they were done using that live show and releasing the VHS of that live show. So if anything, that meant more people had to betray Professor Tinkerpud, so that kept him in the Barney franchise even longer than you would think. Honestly, pretty incredible if you ask me. But anyway, I am also wondering if the Barney's house concept had the intentions of probably bringing Professor Tinkerpud back, because the Come On Over to Barney's House DVD had tons of Professor Tinkerpud stuff in it without you even realizing it. Like, you know, the Count to 10 book? Basically, in that book, they visit Professor Tinkerpud.
No, it's Professor Tinkerpud. I recognize his happy strut.
The bonus video for this DVD was the Dino Dancing Tunes video, which, as I told you earlier, had a plot line that was started because of Professor Tinkerpud, even if he never appeared in the home video. And, you know, Barney's Spin the Globe radio that I told you about earlier, that was a gift given to him by Professor Tinkerpud, where Barney even said so himself and actually showed a picture of Professor Tinkerpud he has for his mantle.
Oh, that's a present from my good friend, Professor Tinkerpud. It's a Spin the Globe radio.
So if anything, Barney's house probably had the idea of bringing Professor Tinkerpud back, but they ultimately never did it. Which is such a shame, because it would have been great to see him again. Heck, another opportunity they missed out on bringing the character back would be the Barney Let's Go tour, because that show was literally about going to a toy factory to fix BJ's broken plane and Baby Bop's broken ballerina. A perfect opportunity thrown out the window. I can't help but feel like Entertainment had to do something with that, but anyway. Basically, you're probably wondering why Barney's making room and what Professor Tinkerpud has to do with this, right? Well, Barney will explain to you.
Oh, well, I got a phone call from our good friend, Professor Tinkerpud. And he said he was sending over a wonderful new invention. So I'm just looking for some place to put it when it gets here. His surprises are usually pretty big.
Oh, I'll say they are. The birthday cake he made for me was as big as a house.
Suddenly, the back doorbell rings, and Barney allows BJ to go to the door to collect the package, but when Barney's trying to think of where to put the giant machine, it's revealed what the delivery person gave to BJ isn't really a giant machine at all. It's a miniature package.
Here it is, I guess.
Well, it's smaller than I thought it would be.
BJ sees that there's a note on the package and gives it to Barney to read, and it's from Professor Tinkerbell saying his new invention's called the Happy Dancing Music Machine and gives them instructions of what to do. Place the package down, pull the string...
Oh, and stand back.
Stand back?
Stand back!
Okay,
Oh, my.
oh man, it's awesome!
It certainly is.
May I present to you the Happy Dancing Music Machine?
And even though this is its only appearance where it's referred to by name and is pretty much used for its real purpose, which is to play random discs it has, basically, there are other appearances of the Happy Dancing Music Machine. Like it was used for the segue to the Dino Dance from Read With Me, Dance With Me, and then it was used to like introduce the music video, The Barney Boogie, and then it was used in 2 home videos where it looks like they're on the set of a game show, and the music machine is pretty much used there. The machine in King You Sing That Song is used to play bits of music so you can guess what the song is, while it's used in Top 20 Countdown so they can count down their top 20 favorite Barney songs. So honestly, it's good to see Hair Entertainment somehow got more use out of it, even if it was never seen again in Barney's house. But anyway, BJ sees the discs and wonder what they're for, but thankfully the letter that Professor Tinkerpud wrote them explains it all.
Any jukebox can play a song, but my music machine lets you play along. Put in a disc, the song will play, and you'll see the fun you had that day.
Oh, a disc like this?
I think so. Shall we try it out and see what happens?
Yeah! Okay, here goes!
Okay.
Oh, look at that!
There it goes.
Whoa! Oh, check it out!
I think something's happening on the picture screen.
Look! It's our day at the beach!
And so, throughout the rest of the video, the Happy Dancing Music Machine plays songs for them that's from videos that have already been released, like Barney's Big Surprise, to Barney's Rhyme Time Rhythm, to even come on over to Barney's house, to songs from videos that haven't been released yet, like Barney's Beach Party, Barney's You Can Be Anything, and Barney's Round and Round We Go. In fact, what's interesting is that because Round and Round We Go and You Can Be Anything were made before Dino Dance Party but weren't released yet for some reason, is that we get to see their prototype names that were only seen in this video, with Round and We Go being referred to as Barney's Wheels, Wings, and Waves, and You Can Be Anything referred to as Barney's When You Grow Up. Interesting, right? Anyway, the first song they sing in this home video for the Happy Dancing Music Machine is Colors All Around from Barney's Beach Party. After the song's done, Barney and BJ actually like what they saw because they like the idea of having a machine that can play your memories in the form of music videos, which causes BJ to say that everyone should have a Happy Dancing Music Machine, and Barney agrees, but he says that you don't really need machines and flashing lights to have fun, especially because the best fun you have is with your friends and if you use a little imagination, and decides to play an art disc to show BJ what he means by showing the time and You Can Be Anything. He and his friends went to the farm when Robert wants to be a farmer. And during that scene, they sing the song We're on Our Way to Grandpa's Farm.
We're on our way to Grandpa's farm. We're on our way to Grandpa's farm.
After they're done, the noise has actually caught the attention of Baby Bop, who actually thinks there's real farm animals in the living room.
Hey, where did the animals go?
Oh, there weren't any animals, Baby Bop. We were just listening to this.
Oh, I like it. What is it?
It's brand new, and it's a
Thing? Well, it's a great big thing. Well, yeah, sorta. But see, it has lots of these, and they're special discs for the Happy Dancing Music Machine.
Even though Barney and BJ explain to Baby Bop how it works, she's pretty skeptical, so they encourage her to try out one of the discs.
Uh-huh. Now, how does it really work? Oh, ay, sissy. Here, just give it a try. Okay.
After Baby Bop does all of the instructions, she sees that Barney and BJ weren't pulling her leg as the machine works and shows them the time the Baby Bop Hop, a song that debuted in the episode Twice as Nice, is performed in the live show Barney's Big Surprise.
I know someone who is lots of fun. with a happy kind of dancing. All of her friends say baby bop, do the baby bop hop. Hop, hop, hop!
Yay! Look at me! I'm doing happy.
After the baby bop hop is done, basically Barney is reminded of the rhyme handy dandy, or handy manny, or whatever that Mother Goose rhyme about the guy who buys the candy at the shop is called. And basically, that makes BJ notice that they have a disc about the time they went to the land of Mother Goose from Barney's Rhyme Time Rhythm, and play it as they hear the song, The Land of Mother Goose.
The sun always shines, music and rhymes, laughter and fun for everyone.
Where do we begin? The fun never ends in the land of Mother Goose.
After they're done listening to that song, apparently Bebop doesn't know the proper way to use the plural and singular words for geese, so they have to teach that to her.
Yeah, with all the flowers and fun and surprises.
And gooses!
Well, you mean geese.
That's what I said. Honk, 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 honk. Look out for me, I'm a geese. Honk.
You mean goose.
Well, make up your mind, BJ.
Thankfully, Barney's able to clear it up for Baby Bop, and that's when BJ notices that they have a disc about the time a blue jay came to the window and played the blues with them from Come On Over to Barney's house. And Barney and Baby Bop have apparently never met this blue jay before, meaning that the albums are technically not canon to Barney lore, and basically BJ plays it for them so he can show off the blue jay that plays the blues.
Oh, you're right, BJ. I've never seen or heard a bird like that before.
Oh, told ya. Hey, I wonder if I should make that bird a regular member of my rock and roll band.
Well, I don't know, but when I grow up, I want to be a bird too, so I can fly.
And with that, they play the next disc, which plays the song Hey Look at Me I Can Fly, which debuted in the Season 3 episode about flying, which was also the Season 3 finale, but the footage of the song performance is taken specifically from Round and Round We Go. And this actually leads to a weird common misconception among the Barney fan community. For you see, because of the fact that it's revealed by a screener tape of Be My Valentine Love Barney, and some of the bloopers from Barney's beach party, that Bob Singleton originally did the music for those videos, but they decided to replace his score for some reason with a new score provided by Joseph Phillips, who would eventually become the main and only Barney musical director as soon as they began production on Season 7, leaving the only last time Bob Singleton ever did music for Barney to be Barney's Super Singing Circus. And basically, the musical score for Round and Round We Go was provided by David Bernard Wolfe, someone who's not really appreciated very much in the Barney community, but I personally like some of his music, and basically he did the music for Barney's Round and Round We Go. But the music in the scene from Round and Round We Go is actually provided by Joseph Phillips instead of David Bernard Wolfe for some reason. And basically, this led people to believe that Joseph Phillips probably did the music for, this video, but they replaced it with David Bernard Wolfe for some reason, even though it is David's last video providing music for Barney. But I don't think that's the case, because some of the outtakes from this home video still sound like they have the David Bernard Wolfe score for some reason. So why would they just replace Joseph with it if they had the David Bernard Wolfe score in the outtakes? So this is my guess as to what actually happened. You see, all of the music and all of the videotapes, except for Round and Round We Go, is provided by Joseph Phillips. So they probably had Joseph dub over the music that's actually used from the home video, so it can fit in with the whole Joseph Phillips does the music for the entire home video thing, instead of having just one song that was provided by a completely different musical director. That's just my guess on what happened, and I think it's pretty good when seeing how we don't even have another piece of music Joseph probably could have done for Round and Round We Go. But I will say in this case, Joseph probably did it better than David in the actual home video, because I like the music David provided for Round and Round We Go in the home video, but basically, for when it comes to Hey Look at Me I Can Fly, I don't think he did so good, because the whole point of the whole Hey Look at Me I Can Fly song is that it's supposed to be adventurous, because it's about what kids sometimes dream of doing for real. flying. And basically, you can usually only accomplish that when you're in an airplane, which is what's commonly used whenever they sing the song. And basically, this song, for some reason, in the original home video is just way too calm to be adventurous, and not only that, but they have a lot of airplane noises to try to make it seem more realistic, but the airplane noises are sort of too loud. Not too loud to the point where it gives you a headache, but too loud to the point where it kind of covers up the music and sometimes covers up the singing.
I'm like a bird in the sky, flying around with an oh so high. I wave hello, then I wave goodbye. Hey, look at me, I can fly.
Now, I don't mean this as a way to offend David Wolf with his music for Barney, because to be honest, sometimes it does work, especially since he's trying to match with Bob Singleton's to make sure, or it feels the same way as Bob's music does, but basically, it just doesn't work here, because even Bob's tried to make sure that the music for Hey Look at Me I Can Fly sounded really adventurous when it first debuted in the season 3 finale. But basically, Joseph's music sounds like it did the better job here, because not only do they make it sound adventurous, but the airplane noises aren't too loud, so you can actually hear the music and the singing, and not only that, but it just sort of works in a way.
Hey, look up here, up in the sky. Here in the frosty clouds way up high. Let's shout hooray as we zoom by. Hey, look at me, I can fly.
I can see your factory from here.
I'm like a bird in the sky, flying around with them oh so high. I wave hello, then I wave goodbye. Hey, look at me, I can fly.
So yeah, pretty much the ultimate debate for this is settled. Joseph did it better, and that's just basically the end of it. So anyway, after they wrap up the song, that's when we cut back to Barney, BJ, and Bebop pretend to be airplanes who are just landing. And that's when BJ talks about how the airplanes were rocking and rolling, and that makes him think about how he loves rock and roll music. And basically, Bebop's kind of against it, but Barney says rock and roll can be enjoyable for everyone, and plays a disc for the time he had played rock and roll with his friends from You Can Be Anything when Steven tries to be a rock and roll star. You know, the exact same moment that I told you about earlier when we were first talking about the song. And basically, it showcases what they did with the song, which is pretty nice. So after the song's done, everyone pretty much has their own opinions on what they just heard.
Rock and roll makes me feel pumped, excited, happy. It makes me feel dizzy.
Oh. Well, that's one of the wonderful things about music. There are lots of different kinds for lots of different people. Rock and roll for BJ, and ballet for you.
Oh, well, what kind of music do you like best, Barney?
I like all kinds of music, so it just depends on my mood. Maybe I'd like something fast. Or maybe something slower.
Or maybe some music like this? Whoa, it's a crown, like a king would wear. What kind of music do you think this is?
Oh, I'm sure it must be something fun.
So they played the disc, and it's revealed to be the time they sang Old King Cole in Barney's Rhyme Time Rhythm, a children's song that can be considered very important for Barney and Friends, seeing how it was one of the first children's songs sung in the TV series ever since the very first episode. But anyway, after they're done with that song, that's when BJ talks about how good he is at drumming, since he pretty much did the drumming in the song, and says that's why his rock and roll band's going to be very famous and can't wait until they get their first disc.
Man, I can't wait until our first disc comes out.
Well, you may not need to wait at all.
Huh?
Because it looks like there's already a disc of one of your practice sessions. See?
Oh man, you've gotta play that. We'll show you what happy dancing is really all about.
Oh.
All right.
And with that, that's when they played the final song for the Happy Dancing Music Machine, the Dino Dance, taken directly from Come On Over to Barney's House. And after they're done with that song, they talk about how big that party was when they first celebrated the Dino Dance.
Now That's what I call a party.
And if we play this every day, we can have a party every day.
Oh, I think that's a very good idea, Baby Bop. Of course, even without the happy dancing music machine, we can have fun every day.
We can?
Well, sure, Sissy. Just by using our imaginations.
And sharing the day with people you love.
And with that, that's when they sing the I Love You song, again with the audio taken directly from Come On Over to Barney's house to end the video. But after they're done singing, that's when the happy dancing music machine goes all buggy.
Oh, did you turn it on, BJ?
Not me. I didn't put anything in it.
Well, if nothing went into the music machine, maybe something's going to come out.
Whoa.
Oh, look! I think it made a brand new disc of us singing just now.
Oh, great! Then we can play it anytime we need a hug, or a smile, or a little extra love.
That's right.
You know what? I think we should all go over to Professor Tinkerputz right now to say thank you for the happy dancing music machine. Who wants to come?
Oh, I want to go.
Oh, then follow me.
Tinkerputz, all right.
And so the VHS ends with Barney, BJ, and Bebop going to Professor Tinkerput's toy factory as they leave the happy dancing music machine behind for us to look at the new disc. I'm honestly a little confused on how it can record something, especially when you can't turn it on or off, and especially since it's only meant to play, like, discs, but, whatever. But either way, it's kind of coincidental that this comes as the bonus video for Come On Over to Barney's house, since Count to 10 literally involves them going to Professor Tinkerput's toy factory to see him, so kind of coincidental when you think about it. But anyway, that's pretty much the end of Barney's Dino Dancing Tunes. And honestly, it was a really great video. It had a fun concept, a good setup, and honestly, it paid off very well. Also, for anyone who's ever wanted to see Jeff Brooks play BJ while he's seen with the Happy Dancing Music Machine, but was sad that didn't happen because Kyle Nelson was playing BJ, well, don't worry, I have some good news for you. Even though Jeff Brooks has never played BJ in the video for when it came to the new footage, he did get to play BJ, who was seen next to the Happy Dancing Music Machine when they made a commercial for Barney Rocks.
Now let's see.
Oh, hi, BJ. What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to play my new CD that I just recorded.
Oh, you mean the one with your new band, BJ and the Rockets?
Yeah, it's got some cool new rockin' songs.
Oh, great. Well, I'll be glad to show you how it works.
All right.
Barney Rocks, introducing BJ and the Rockets, is now available at a store near you.
So at least that happened. And honestly, I'm glad Jeff Brooks at least got to be seen next to the Happy Dancing Music Machine as BJ, even if it was only for a Barney commercial for the CD. But anyway, we've officially reached the end of part 2 of our video, leaving us with only 2 more parts to go before we've completely covered everything about Barney's house. I'm Christian Ryan, and I'll see you next time. See you later!